Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. I'm here in Niles, Illinois at Shure's headquarters, and we are talking with Nick Wood, the Category Director for Wireless Products. Great to see you.
Hi, Mitch. Thanks for coming to talk with us about wireless.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thanks for letting us invade your space here and take up your time today.
Sure.
It's an amazing facility you have here, and Shure does so many products. But one we're really focusing on here is the personal monitoring products, which we have here. These are an important product for a lot of musicians and sound guys these days. Tell us what these are really about.
Well, these are in-ear monitor systems. Shure's in-ear monitor products we call PSM, which stands for Personal Stereo Monitors. And what they do is they let performers hear themselves when they're on stage performing. And in that sense, they replace a speaker and all the equipment behind it that's sending loud acoustic sound up onto the stage.
Right, so normally you'd have a monitor in front of you. You'd sing into the microphone or play or whatever, and that sound would blast back onto the stage. Unfortunately, it's leaking into the microphones. It's also bleeding out into the audience and messing up the sound that's coming from the front of house. This basically solves that problem. It's one of the problems. One of the benefits you get from these is that it really cleans up that stage sound.
Yeah, it's a cleaner, more sophisticated way to solve that problem, yeah.
And we're seeing a lot of stages now, particularly in worship situations where they're what are called silent stages, where there are no live instruments or live monitors or things on stage, and so you're working with these systems. So how do these work in that situation where you don't have live amps on stage or drums on stage?
What you can do is, especially with electronic instruments, feed all of those into the mix that everyone hears. And then instead of the performers being reliant on a speaker, there's a transmitter that takes that mix to this, which is a wireless receiver. And the performer would wear an earphone plugged into here and have the ability to hear exactly what they want at the level that they want that's comfortable for them. And you can even have each performer get a personalized mix. So a drummer might want to lock in more on the bass player, the singer might want to hear more of themselves, and that's not really possible with speakers that are washing around with everybody hearing a little bit of everything.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I think one of the impressions that people have of in-ear monitor systems is that they can be more complicated, but it's really the opposite, isn't it? Because you don't have to worry about feedback, for one thing. There's no more ringing out the room. There's no more working with equalizers to get the monitors all sounding great, because it's basically like wearing a set of headphones or earbuds, and you're getting the sound delivered straight into your ear. So you don't have all that complexity to do it. They're very simple systems to set up and use.
Yeah, it's a good point. They eliminate more complexity than they had, I feel.
Right.
And they, if you think of the pieces and parts that you need, it's really not more. The transmitter is effectively like the amp that powers the stage wedge, and the speaker itself is replaced by the receiver in the earphone.
Right. Well, having moved many gear racks that were loaded up with amplifiers and hauled monitors in and on and off the truck,
big difference,
and a big difference to picking up your little receiver and your earbuds. It certainly is a much more portable solution.
Indeed.
For especially if you're a band that's on the road or you're going in and out of clubs and things. But even in a house of worship situation where you're trying to make the equipment compact and make things streamlined and efficient so you can get on and off, it's a system that really, again, is very simple to use and set up.
I agree.
So tell us what we have here. We have a number of different systems on display here. We've got, looks like 4 or so receivers, three transmitters. What are we looking at?
So I'll highlight first the PSM 300. The transmitter for that product is here on top, and you have two options for the receiver. This is the P3R. The P3RA gives you additionally the ability to dock it to charge with a rechargeable battery, or use AA's if you wish. And then common to all of this is some really cool technology in the receiver, especially where the audio is done in 24-bit digital, and you get tremendous dynamic range, just great detail and clarity, and a stereo field that you can position every input to your mix and place it and make it easier to hear and lock in on each detail of the mix.
Right, right. So this is the PSM 300, that's the least expensive solution?
Right.
And it offers you very straightforward operation, simple just to set up, plug and play basically operation with that. Right. And then we have the 900 and 1000, correct?
Yeah, and then just to talk about the other end of the spectrum, the PSM 1000 is at this point pretty much a workhorse touring standard system. It has a lot of really powerful features, including networked control. You can set it up with software, even monitor it from a mobile app on a smartphone. And it has a diversity receiver, which really gives you the ultimate in RF performance, or basically dropout protection. So
Right.
with diversity, it's more than just 2 antennas. It's also the processing that happens under the hood with that that basically ensures that if you have an RF fade or a dropout on one antenna, you've got the other one. And it's proven to be quite reliable.
Right, and that's the rack mount unit that we have here. So it's great for install applications. It's great, again, in a house of worship if you're setting up receivers, transmitters, and you want to put them in a rack. That's a very convenient way to do that, a very powerful system. So then where does the 900 fit in between those two?
Oh, the 900 is a good step up from the PSM 300 where you find yourself needing to scale this up in terms of number of systems that you need. It doesn't move you quite as far in the price as the PSM 1000, but it, in terms of its tuning range and just number of channels on air, number of mixes, individual mixes, where you have each performer needing to hear their own thing, they need their own transmitter,
Right.
their own frequency and so forth.
Now you mentioned frequencies. Is this a complex thing that I'm going to be getting into when I'm operating one of these systems? Do I have to know about frequencies and things?
Well, no, you don't, fortunately, and I know it's not the main reason people are thinking about microphones and in-ear monitors. So the products have a number of ways to be set up, scan functions and groups of compatible frequencies. So the larger the overall number of wireless devices, the more that gets involved, but it's generally pretty easy to do, and there's a number of ways to do it.
And you mentioned multiple systems. So if I have my whole band on in-ears, I can do that with the PSM 300, or do I need to go to 1000 to do that?
No, not at all. You could outfit a band of 8-9 people with PSM 300, sure.
Wonderful. So we're kind of looking at a good, better, best kind of a situation here. If you want to get into the in-ears and have great sound quality, simple setup, easy to use, PSM 300 is great for musicians, great for mobile situations where you're going in and out. The 900 is going to step you up, offer you some more features, and broaden that capability. And then if you want the top of the line, the 1000 is great for installs, for touring systems. So really a powerful system there as well. But there really is a Shure PSM system for whatever level you want to work at.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better myself. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Nick, thanks so much for taking some time today to explain these to us. The PSM systems are really great. I've used them myself, and I find as a musician, it just makes my performance better because I can hear so clearly everything that's going on. It's so controlled, and we don't have all those problems with feedback and worry about all those kind of things. And there's the mobility. You're not tethered to a speaker or to a wired system. So I really, really think these are awesome rigs to have in your arsenal. So thanks for your time.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Appreciate it. I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. Thanks for joining me at Shure headquarters. If you have questions on these or any other Shure products, be sure to contact your Sweetwater sales engineer.